Hey guys, Jim Higgins, Backyard Retreat Marketing. Today I want to talk about profit. And profit is one of those things which very honestly is frustrating for some companies. We work with a lot of different folks in the outdoor living space, and I've heard more than once, it's like, Jim, I feel like we work harder and harder, we're even getting the jobs, but at the end of the day, I, I don't feel like we have a whole lot to show for it. We don't have the money, the profits to put back into the business to get to that next level. So that's why I want to address this. And how do you become a more profitable company? Well, there's a lot of different aspects to that. Some involve marketing and some don't. But within that marketing world, I want to focus on one specific strategy that can deliver results right away. And that is if you're using Google Ads. So I want to show you how to properly target your campaigns in Google Ads to make sure you're giving yourself the best chance to get the higher revenue deals and the deals that are going to deliver more profit for your company, right? So let's transition into Google Ads, and this will make sense as I get into specifics. So let's come here and we will transition to Google Ads. Okay, so right now I've got just a test campaign pulled up. I'm going to come here on the left side and I'm going to go to location. So this is the area where that you would target where you want your ads to be shown. All right. So right now we don't have any location targeting set, but I want to set what I see most cases. When we start working with folks, we get in, we say, okay, how are we defining our niche, our service area? And most clients have done a very logical thing. They've come in here and said, okay, let me think about it in terms of a radius from our office, right? Our crews are all leaving from the same point each morning, and we're comfortable with them going out 20 miles. So let's use just an example here, Altamont Springs, Florida, and 20 miles. All right, so you see Google's updated that. We get a visual look at that. And again, it's very intuitive to look at the world this way. It's certainly better than just saying pick a bunch of counties, or I mean, in worst cases, I've seen people not really target at all, and they'll pick a whole state. Talk about really wasting some ad spend. But so again, this is a great start. And if you've done this, I would say thumbs up. You're heading in the right direction. But here's the problem. The problem is there's a huge difference between the people within this radius and the households that they live in, right? There's really one extreme all the way to the other in terms of, the household income, the size of the house, and the things that you're concerned about when it comes to defining who would be a great client for you, right? So a good start, but I would say let's get away from radius targeting altogether. Let's move to zip code. And then specifically, let's use some intelligence around what is the average income of the household by zip code, right? So there's a number of different ways you can do it. The government has sites you can go and look at reams of spreadsheets on this stuff. But do a simple search in your area. Look for income by zip code in Greater Orlando, or wherever it is that you're at. And you'll be surprised at the resources that you'll find there. The other is just go with your gut. You know your business, right? If you've been doing this for a few years, you know where your best customers come from, right? So make sure you know those zip codes. Make sure those zip codes have a nice, a nice priority within anything you do within Google Ads. All right. So here's an example that I'm going to share with you on the research that we did for this. So let me change my share again, and we'll go to a simple Excel doc. All right. So what you see here is just a simple listing of zip codes within Florida, Central Florida, and household incomes. And I want to look at a couple case scenarios. The first is zip code 32805. Household income $27,620. So let me ask you, as a company out there selling and building screen enclosures, patio covers and sunrooms, is this a good target for you? I would say in most cases, the answer to that is no. I mean, these are folks here that, man, they're doing good to get by. It's just the reality, right? So maybe perhaps if you're in the screening closure business and you focus on rescreening or repairs, that you might find a little niche here, and it could work for you. But for the most part, if you're looking for new installs, then it's probably not one to go forward. In fact, I'd probably exclude that from my targeting. So let's contrast it to zip code 34786. Very different story here. Average household income of $92,000. So these are folks that bring in more than three times the income. They're going to be in a position to, again, be interested in the types of jobs that are going to deliver much more revenue for you and profits, right? So let's now go back. We're going to transfer this intelligence into Google Ads so you can see exactly how to do it step by step. All right. All right. So transition back in here where we left off. And so remember, before we had just radius targeting. Let's get rid of that, guys. Right? Don't want that. Boom. Click it off. Okay. So rather than radius, we're going to go to the location setting here. And then we're going to take that first zip code and actually the one I just talked about, we're going to go to 34786. And sure enough, Google found it. So we're going to say target. Boom. So you see here on the right side, we've kind of eked out an area here that is defined by that zip code that we're going to start targeting with our ads. All right. Now let's look at that other one. So that was 32805. 32805. Perfect. Now a little trick here. It's counterintuitive, so kind of pay close attention to this. You first have to target this, which seems a little weird, but is what it is. So now it's targeted, it's blue. What I want to do is click on it and I'll go exclude. Okay. There is another way in the system you can do it directly to exclude, but if you're doing it as I'm showing you here, it's just one extra click. So you see that turned red, right? So it means we are not going to show your ad within this zip code. All right. If I pan out, now you start to see here that we're just starting to build some better targeting based on income. And so what you do is continue building this out. Locations by zip codes that you want to include, those which you don't. All right, makes sense. So I think if you do that, again, we can get into some more advanced stuff in further videos, but you'll be well on your way to just showing your ads to the right kind of people, which ultimately gives you a better shot at getting the right kind of deals that you want. Furthermore, if you want to take this to the next level, you can actually put bid adjustments by specific zip code. So if there's really an area that you know, and it doesn't always have to be income, right? It could be just an area that's booming, right? That there's a lot of new builds going on. You want to be part of that. Well, great. Let's target them, number one. And then number two, maybe we do a 20% bid adjustment, which means if someone from that area types in search terms that match what your products or services are all about, then we're going to give it a little bit more juice so we can show up higher and get that click. So anyway, we won't get into that. We'll do that in a future video, but just know that this is the right way to do it for any company who's, in the screen enclosure, sunroom, decking business. This is the way we recommend you do that. So, hey, if you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. If at any point in time you feel like you just need help from an expert to define strategy and just see where things might go, just request a strategy session on the website. That'll be directly with me. Schedule a time, date on my calendar, and we'll go from there. So anyway, thanks. Hope this was helpful. Take care.